All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you, brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word and truth and sincerity. Shalom to you believers out there, the Akim wa Akwath. And what I want to go into real quick this morning is what was on my spirit when I woke up. You know, just how all of us go through different things in our lives, and coming into the ministry, you go through different things, and you have to learn how to navigate through the turbulence, through everything. And one scripture that came to mind was John 3 and verse 30. He must increase, but I must decrease, man. And that was just very powerful to me because it's just been on my mind lately about how, you have certain distractions, certain things going on in your life. And we all got to learn how to basically prioritize what's important. Now, number one, what's important is what? The ministry, man. And I'm a younger brother coming in, as far as younger in this truth. So it's a lot of things that I'm learning. It's a lot of things that I'm, you know, taking lumps on, as they would say, you know. But again, it's a learning experience. And what's so crazy is while I was preparing this lesson, this brother from GMS Mississippi camp, all right, Zahab Spirit Wind Judah, this was in my feed when I was preparing this lesson. And the title of this lesson is what? Conquer your reality. Stop being distracted. Right, going back to John 3 and 30, it says, he must increase, but I must decrease. And I just thought about how in my life that the Lord, this ministry, everything about it must increase, but I must decrease. Meaning all the things I got going on, meaning distractions, things of that nature. Whatever my mind on, whatever things is going on, I have to learn how to be better at minimizing the distractions, minimizing all of the things that I got going on. Again, we have to work, we got to pay bills, but it's things I know personally I can do to minimize these what's going on, so my ministry can increase, so my knowledge can even increase. My studying can increase. Everything that's surrounded in the ministry can increase. And Lord willing, this is uplifting and edifying to somebody out there. Okay, matter of fact, let's go into the word decrease. Because we have to learn how to let things in our life decrease. It says to make less or inferior. It says to decrease in authority or popularity. Some of us, we were very popular before we came into the ministry, or you still might have a certain popularity. All right, you have guys in camps that, they want to still have that popularity of the world. It's things that you were doing before the ministry that you had to cut back on. And like this brother here was going into how, like me, I've been drawing ever since I was 6 years old. I do graphic designs. I was doing custom clothes, all of these type of things, music. So I love to be creative. And sometimes with that mindset, it can be a distraction because you always had, like he was going into, and this is a very good lesson. I mean, he always make edifying great lessons, but this is a very good lesson, and it was going into the lesson that I was going into right now when I was preparing, and I was like, that's the spirit, So, and I felt like it's something the Lord, I feel like he was speaking to me. I feel like the Lord was using him to speak to me about stop being distracted with things, whether, just me having that creative mind. I'm always having ideas and things that I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with being creative and drawing and playing music and things of that nature. But guess what? I have to learn how to minimize better. And like he was, and I'm gonna play a snippet of his brother video. Listen to this. Let me play this.
But in Babylon, hey, the government of a prudent man is what you have to govern your world, man. You have to govern yourself. All right, you have to know your nature as a man. As your nature as a man, you have adventure inside of you. You have life inside of you. All right, that's why.
And that was one of the things that got me, like when he said you have to know your nature as a man. My nature, one of my natures is to be creative, man. I know that, but I have, like the brother was going into in this video, I had to, I remember I was working with this young lady some years ago, and she always was good at planning. Like she will always be like, okay, from 9 to 10, I'm going to do this. From 10 to 11, I'm going to do this. From 12. And I actually started trying to adopt that into my life. And I think I need to bring that back into my life, far as like, okay, and everything ain't gonna go perfect, but just like the brother was going into in his lesson about planning, not just going with the wind per se all the time. Sometimes it's good to just wing it. Sometimes it's good to just be like, you know what, hey, but again, as men in the ministry, we have to be prudent. Now let me play some more.
It's hard for a boy that's 7, 8 years old to just sit down. All right, that's why it's hard for a dog to sit down, because the things they have in common, they have life inside them. They have adventure inside them. All right, it's good that if you have a young boy, all right, or whatever, it's good to get the energy out of them first, then instruct them. All right, let them play or whatever, let them get their energy out. Same thing with you being a man. All right, some of the addictions you have, some of the problems you have, because you don't have a means to get the energy out of you. All right, this is the behind the scenes of the prophets. Yeah, we upload these videos, all right, and we teach. We go out on the highways and the byways, but there's a day-to-day reality that we have to deal with, all right, in between us teaching. And we have to make sure that we're on point in that day-to-day reality.
And this was very powerful statements that he was making. The behind-the-scenes reality, the day-to-day reality. This is the day-to-day reality. And when he said these things that he was saying, it just resonated with me, you know, especially being a younger brother in the truth. All right. These are the things that that hit you. Okay. Because when you first come in, you a little bit more zoned in, you excited, you learning, you read, you studying every day, you know, all of these things. And as time go on, this is the day-to-day reality. Certain things come up. This was a very great lesson, you know, going into, because it kind of flowed into the lesson that I'm doing right now. It was because the first thing that was on my mind is like John 3:30. All right. And we know the context, but it's a very powerful statement. I was just thinking to myself, like, he must increase, but I must decrease. He must increase, but I must decrease. Meaning my focus on Yahweh Shai, the ministry, reading, study, that must increase, but I must decrease. Certain, whether I'm drawing, whether I'm creating, whether I'm building, whether I'm doing this, you know, I ain't saying cut hours at work, you know what I'm saying, far as, you know, get your bills paid and things like that. But it's other outside distractions. And like he was saying, Babylon is a place where distractions is coming from all sides. And us having that life in us, that's another thing he said about us men having that life in us, you know, it can kind of, you know, stir you. But like the scripture said, you know, keeping your eye single, not going to the left or to the right. Because one thing about it, see, and that's why Yahweh Shai is the standard, man. He's the standard to follow. Because one thing about Yahweh Shai, he was about what? His father's business. And that's what we got to be about. Let's get it. Luke 2 and let me see. And this is when his mother was looking for him. All right. His mother and father was looking for him when he was young. Luke 2 and 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? Meaning he is zoned, keyed in. Yahweh Shai, he didn't have a woman. Okay. He knew what he had to do. He was a man on a mission. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, but we got to be men on a mission. That's very, very important. We got to be men on a mission. And a brother in the same cap of GMS Mississippi, he did a lesson on being crown chasers. We chasing a crown. So if you got a woman or women, certain things you like to do, all of that, man, we going to be able to enjoy life for real in the kingdom. And that's why this was so heavy on my spirit this morning. Like, man, he must increase, but I must decrease. I must be about my father's business. Okay? Just like Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was that prototype. Because one thing about it, let me get this. What's that? Let me see. Hold on, I have my scriptures. Oh, that's Luke 9. Let me get that. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get this first. Luke 9. Luke 9. And 59, it said, all right. And he said, I'm getting straight to the point. And he said unto me, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahweh Shah said unto him, let the dead bury the dead, their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. So what he was saying was, look, don't be concerned with all of that. I taught you supposed to be a man on a mission. You can't be worried about all that outside influence and everything. Again, don't be stupid. Go to work. Take care of your wife. Take care of your family. Take care of your kids. But this ministry must be first. He must increase. We must decrease. We must become, and matter of fact, I do want to read this. I do want to read this in NLT and in the NET. I never read that before, but I was just reading through the different ones. All right, John 3 and 30 NLT. He must become greater and greater. I must become less and less. Right. The Lord must become greater in our lives. It must consume us, man. We got to be on fire for this thing. Now, the NET version, it says he must become more important while I become less important. And again, John was stating, how he was, basically like a herald for Yahweh Shah, which brothers is a herald for Yahweh Shah. Because and the herald goes into like before the king come, he lets everybody know that the king is coming. Okay? And that's what brothers is doing. Letting everybody know that the king is coming. And in that, guess what? We must become less important. And he must become more important. Everything about this ministry must become more important, must come first. Okay? Let me get this. What's that? John 12 and 26. Again, crown chasers. We got to remember what we in it for. We got to remember that we just not doing this to upload videos all day, every day. Teach on the highways and byways all the time. No. Prophecy is happening. One day we ain't going to be able to teach. One day it's going to be Jacob's trouble. basically we at the beginning stages, but I mean where it's just no denying that we in Jacob's trouble. So prophecy is continually moving, and this world, it can again Babylon, but this world period have a lot of distractions, especially once they implemented the internet with social media. Everybody on a phone, you can just at the touch of a button, you can just look up whatever you want to look up. You can watch whatever you want to watch. You can see whatever you want to see. You can be in some small town. You could be seeing what's going on in the big city. You in a big city, you could just see what's going on and let me Uber over here, let me drive over here, let me, whatever's going on. All right. But guess what? We got to remember we crown chasers, man. We men on a mission. John 12 and 26. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. You know how much of an honor it's going to be able to sit at Yahushua table. That's what the brother was going into. Sitting at Yahushua tables. We got to grasp how powerful that is, because a lot of us, we had dreams of becoming this, rich, successful person. No matter what avenue you was in, a lot of us wanted to be rappers and entertainers, but we wanted to have that clout, all the women and the success and the fame. Well, guess what? Basically, when Yahushua brought us in this truth, okay, number one, it was to clean us up, all right? Because it's perks coming in the kingdom, but we got to get cleaned up. It's stages to becoming a king. But basically, the end result, Yahushua was giving us that by giving us the word. Because why? The men who coming under the banner of Yahushua, who sit at his table, they going to have all the perks. They going to have the fame. They going to have the riches. They going to have the clout. And this is one thing that I was just telling myself, which I'm not worried about money and clout and fame and all that no more. But what I'm saying is, like, all of the things that I did want, Yahushua really is trying to give it to me. I just got to endure. Okay? And again, another part of it is becoming a better man inwardly. Not just having the money, the women, and the clout and things, but becoming an actual better person. Cleaning up. Learning this word. All right? But guess what? The end result of being one of those men is the fame, is the clout, is the success, is the women, is the things that you wanted. You see what I'm saying? He must increase, we must decrease. That was the scripture, John 3:30. That was the scripture that was on my mind. And again, this brother made this beautiful lesson. And I was like, this is what the Lord is telling me. And this is what the Lord want me to put out. Because obviously it will grab somebody, even if it's just one person. So, that's all I had. Lord willing, this was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.